Stampers, this is Trevis. Thank you for joining me for Technique Tuesday. So today we're going to do some paper piecing. And this is a technique that's been around a while, but we seem to forget the old techniques and we just head for the new things. So I'm happy to bring you this technique along with a product from the mini catalog, the January through June mini catalog. I'm going to be using Hey Girlfriend, which is in the mini catalog. This does not have dies that go with it, so you get 12 cling stamps, okay? And then I'm also going to use 2 different designer series papers from the mini catalog. I love this black and white paper. So this is the first one I'm going to use, True Love. So it's not just for Valentine's Day. Don't skip that whole sex suite in the mini catalog. The second one I'm going to pick, I picked is Snail Mail. And this one is adorable. I got the whole suite, but I've used quite a bit of it and I am going to be using it again today. So what I love about Stampin' Up, one of the things I love is that it does tell you all the coordinating colors. So if you are in doubt, like what pink is that? You can just look on there and it'll tell you. So this is Blushing Bride. So that's one of the colors we're going to use today. I'm also going to use a die that's in the big catalog, the annual catalog, and this is called Stitch So Sweetly. If you don't have these dies, this is very useful set of dies. There's 10 dies in here, and they all layer, and they look darling together. So the one that I chose today is just this big one here. I'm going to use this one, okay? So let's get started. I'm excited to show you this technique and also make a special card for you that is called, this technique is actually a technique I did at my club this month, and it's called Slide and Lock Card. So it's a little different, and I think it's really cute. So let's get started. Okay, so I just have down here the hostess code. If you want to place an order between under $150, if you will use my hostess code, I will send you a free gift if it's between $50 and $150. I will send you a free gift in the mail. This is my website if you want to just go there and just put in the hostess code when you place your order. Okay, so you just go to shop and then put in the hostess code. Make sure you're shopping with me. There's been some glitches. Okay, and that's good until Saturday. So if you haven't placed an order and you're interested in doing that, let's do it before Saturday so I can send you a free gift. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the girl from this stamp set. And they're all so cute. I didn't know which one to do, but I chose this one. And I like her little dress, and I thought it would be perfect for this card. So I'm going to stamp this girl in black memento. And I did cut out a white piece, as I told you, from these dies. So this die cut this out. Oops. Okay, so I cut that out ahead of time to save time. So we're going to stamp this girl with the curly hair. And stamp her right on here. Okay, good. Okay, so I can close that pad. So now what I want to do is I want to stamp her again. And I want to stamp it on a piece of that True Love designer series paper. Before I do that, I want to add some color to this black and white paper. And that's kind of the cool part about this paper. You can just go crazy with coloring it. I've seen the background colored in. I've seen the flowers colored in with blends or markers or pencils. Or I've seen it just done with the blending brushes. It's just so easy to use because it's just black and white. So I'm going to use Blushing Bride ink. I'm going to use my blending brush. So these blending brushes come in the 3-pack. They're $12 for 3 of them. And I just keep one for like my pinks and reds. And you can wash them. They're actual brushes. Okay, you can see it's not a sponge. It's an actual brush. You can wash them, but you really don't need to. You can clean them off on your scrap paper if you want to just do it that way. So I'm going to pick up some ink And I'm just going to blend some Blushing Bride on top of this Designer Series paper to just tint the background. The blending brushes are so awesome. I have come to love them. I've always liked sponging. I think that that's an easy technique that we used to always sponge the edges of our cardstock. And I think that's another technique that's kind of gone away, but it's a cool technique. Okay, so you can see that the more you blend, the more ink you pick up, the darker it gets. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now what I'm gonna do is just stamp this girl one more time right on top of this Designer Series paper that I tinted. Okay, and it's kind of hard to see unless you look closely. Okay, so you can see her image on there. So what I'm gonna do is just cut out her dress, and this is the paper piecing part. I'm gonna cut out her dress and actually adhere that part to my white cardstock. So to do this technique, you kind of need an open, you do need an open stamp, whether it's a balloon or a crocodile or any kind of an open image, so that you can cut it out and the image and the Designer Series paper will show through. Okay, so the magic of video, there is her dress cut out. So when you cut it out, you want to cut just right inside the line, just barely, just right inside the outside line. Okay, so now what we get to do is adhere the dress. And you could use regular glue, you can use your adhesive, you could use whatever mode of adhesive you like. Okay, so in doing that, you can see that now her dress is the Designer Series paper. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and color in the rest of her. What I wanna do now is I'm using my black blend marker, and I'm just going to color the belt black. Okay, and then I'm going to color her hair. I'm going to make her a brunette, so I'm just going to color in her hair. And she's got lots of hair. I'm jealous. And it's wavy. I mean, what perfect hair. So just gonna color in her hair real quick. Now you could do this again. You could leave it the way it was. You don't really have to color in her hair, but I think it adds something to the card. So I'm just gonna color in all her wavy hair. Not her headband, not coloring in her headband. I think this is part of her hair. It says a test for my eyes. I went to the eye doctor last week, and so I have cataracts coming, but he said, no worries, we can go, we'll just keep an eye on them, and they're slow growing, so come back in 6 months and we'll look at them again. I'm like, okay, that works for me. Now I'm just gonna bring in a little bit of color, darker, this is soft suede, by the way, so I'm using dark and light soft suede. So just like real hair, I'm adding a little, just a little extra. I'll let that sit for a second. So these are alcohol markers. They do evaporate, so and then you can blend them. And you won't get that really dark light contrast. You'll get more of a blended look, which I think is cool. Okay, looking good. And then I'm going to use Real Red. And I'm going to give her Real Red shoes. And I'm going to give her a Real Red hair, flower in her hair and a headband. So that was the dark red, Real Red. Now I'm going to come back with the light Real Red. Oh yeah, she is so cute. Okay, so I think I'm done with her. Cool. All right, so I am going to use a piece of cardstock for the base of the card. So this, I said this is a, I never can remember what this is called, slide and lock card. So what I did was, this is 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so you could use white cardstock, or I'm just going to go with the Blushing Bride because that's her dress. So I scored it at 1 1/8. Okay, and you do want to score and then fold into the valley, just like that. And the reason I didn't score both sides is it's a lot easier to come in with this side and meet together. Okay. Now, if you happen to leave just a little bit of a gap there, that would be like perfect for this card. I may have to trim that just a smidge. So I'm gonna leave it and do it at the end. But the designer series paper that I picked is just this. And this, I said, is from the snailed paper. So I'm just gonna cover up my cardstock with this. I'm gonna go ahead and put, I know, isn't the back cute? The back is mushrooms. I mean, mushrooms are like popular, amazingly popular right now. How does Stampin' Up! Know that? When they create the catalog, which was probably over a year ago, how did they know that mushrooms were going to be so popular? I don't know. Okay, so we have that. And I see I can make, it's going to be perfect. I can just trim off just a smidge here. And you can do it with your paper cutter. Or if you're handy with the scissors. I feel pretty comfortable doing this. Some people don't. Making sure that all the edges are the same, even. Okay, looking good. Okay, so we have that done. Now I'm going to do the inside of my card, and I'm going to just stamp Hey Girlfriend in the inside. And I'm going to stamp that in basic black. Okay, and then I'm going to mount this on a little piece of red cardstock just to layer it. I think layering adds so much to a card. This on the inside of my card. Okay, now we're going to make the cute part of the card. So we have this cut out, and I cut out 3 more. So you need 4 pieces. And these don't have to be cut out of, these can be squares, they could be circles, ovals. So as long as you have 4 of them, and they could be white, they could be any color cardstock you like. So what I did was I cut out 4 of them with my cut and emboss out of that Stitch So Sweetly die. And then I scored 2 of them down the center. So you can, maybe you can't see, but when you fold it in half, you're going to get that. And this one also is scored. Okay, so if you do a square, it's easier because you can just measure and you can do it that way. Okay, so what we're going to do now is flip this over, and we're going to put adhesive on one fold. And then I'm going to line this up, just like that. And then I'm going to put adhesive on one side of this one. And line that up. And the closer they are in the center, the better. Found out the hard way. One of them I put too much gap in there, and the card kind of buckled. So you have this, all right? Now I'm going to take this piece with the little girl on it, and I'm going to glue that on top. So this is your slide. This is your slide part of your card. So when you're done, you have that on top, and everything else layered in the middle, okay? Then, when you add it to your card, you're going to slide it on. So you're going to slide one side and slide the other side, just like that. And it's pretty tight because I should have made a little bigger gap. I might need to do that. Okay, a little more gap I need. So if it's really tight like that, just take it back to your paper cutter or use your scissors and make your gap a little bigger. Usually we don't want that gap because we're afraid that the inside of the card will show. But for this card, you do need that gap to make it slide easier. I hope it's going to slide this time. She's really tight. Why is it so tight? Okay, there we go. Okay. So there's our card today. I think she's adorable. I'm going to add some embellishments. And I'm going to use the Frosted and Clear Epoxy Droplets. And I'm going to use the putty tip of my Take Your Pick tool. So you get two sizes here. You get the large and the small. And I'm using the frosted. Okay, there's our card today, and it's called Paper Piecing. You're not limited to only your imagination. How's that sound? So, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.